Michelle of Pranayama Mama Yoga here. Today we are going to practice Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2 with the pelvic floor in mind. So what we're going to do is work to create a connection between the brain and the pelvic region, and also work to strengthen the pelvic floor muscles. So if you are dealing with stress incontinence, doing the sneeze pee kind of thing, like the squeezing it all together so nothing is leaking, practicing Warrior 2 in this way can help you with those issues. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start in mountain pose. So I'm going to bring my feet parallel and relaxing my shoulders away from the ears, bringing my shoulder blades down and together, and I'm just going to take a few breaths here. And on the inhale, I'm going to allow the belly to fill up with air, and on the exhale, feel just a slight natural contraction. And on those inhales, I'm breathing all the way down to the pubic bone, allowing all my core muscles and pelvic floor muscles to relax. Grounding my feet into the mat. And then I'm going to step back about 2.5 or 3 feet and get into my Warrior 2 stance. So I'm going to start with the front knee straight here, and I'm going to turn my chest and my hips toward the side, and then I'm going to slightly tilt my hips toward the front of the mat. So I'm bringing my navel toward my spine, and then I'm going to bend that front knee so that my front knee is over my ankle, not extending over the ankle so I don't overextend the knee. And my back foot is turned at about a 45-degree angle. You want to make sure to turn that foot in a little bit. You don't want to turn it out and put too much strain on the knee. So the back leg should be doing most of the work here. If you don't feel like that back leg is doing most of the work, if the work is coming from here, then go ahead and straighten the knee, slightly tilt the hips toward the front of your mat, drawing the navel slightly to the spine, and bend that front knee. I'm going to cartwheel my arms out to the side, gazing over my right middle finger here. And then I'm going to think about my feet for a minute. I'm going to anchor my big toe and my pinky and my inner and outer heels into the mat, so I'm pressing down into the mat with my feet. And then I'm going to imagine that I have a spring in between this front heel and the arch of my back foot. So energetically, I'm going to imagine that I'm squeezing that spring together, keeping it in place so it doesn't pop out. So I'm pressing down with the feet, but energetically moving the feet towards each other. I'm not actually moving my feet in, they're staying in one spot. And then from here, I'm going to lift up through the torso, imagining that I have a stick or a string that goes from the base of my spine, from the perineum up through the crown of my head. So I'm pressing down, but I'm also lifting up. And then we're going to work on our breath. So on the inhale, I'm letting the belly expand and relaxing my muscles all the way down through the pelvic floor. And on the exhale, I'm going to think about pressing down through my feet, slightly lifting the arches of the feet, holding that spring in between my feet, and then I should feel a lifting of my pelvic floor muscles. So on the inhale, I'm completely relaxing my core muscles and my pelvic floor muscles. And on the exhale, there's a slight lifting and contraction. So we're going to hold this for a few breaths. Think about lifting up through the perineum, up through the crown of the head. The torso is nice and straight and long. And that's should be engaging your pelvic floor muscles. And I'm going to straighten that knee to come out of it. Coming back up to the top of the mat and switch it to the other side. Slightly tilting the hips forward, bending that front knee, lining up the arch of my back foot with my front heel. My kneecap is pointing straight ahead, bringing my chest and my hips to the side, gazing over my left middle finger. So I'm pressing down through all four corners of my feet, slightly lifting through the arch of the feet. Inhaling, letting the belly expand and completely relaxing all the way through my pelvic floor muscles. And then exhale, thinking about lifting the perineum up toward the crown of the head. And I'll hold it here for about 1 minute. Slightly drawing up and contracting the pelvic floor on the exhales. That back leg is doing most of the work. And then straightening my knee to come out of the pose. So you can practice Warrior Two this way on its own, or you can practice it during your home practice or during a class. So inhale, releasing the muscles. Exhale, feeling a slight lift and contraction of the muscles. And that's going to help your brain develop a connection to your pelvic region and help you build stronger muscles. So no more sneeze peeks.